Real quick story time while I'm prepping for Sunday's show. So, some years ago, I was out with my Democratic club at the time. Shout out to Vita in Central Brooklyn, Vanguard Independent Democrats Association. And we are out campaigning in Bed-Stuy, the heart of Bed-Stuy on Fulton Street, with then council member Al Vann, the legendary Al Vann. We're handing out flyers, reminding people about the upcoming election. It's not only a mayoral election, but city council is up and everything, right? And this gentleman walks by, and Mr. Van goes to hand him a flyer to remind him about the election. And then the guy says to Mr. Van, "Mayor, I only see you during election time." And without skipping a beat, Mr. Van responds to him, "I only see you during election time too." Y'all should have saw my face. I was like, oh my God, we about to get in an argument on the street corner, and Mr. Van is supposed to be asking this man to vote for him for reelection. Meanwhile, Mr. Van is like going toe to toe with him. So, the guy starts talking about all the community is experiencing gentrification. They're building all of these buildings that's, real tall and, out of character with the community that I grew up in. He was like, the schools ain't like what they were when I, went to school here. And he starts just laying out all of these issues that he is very passionate about, seemingly. And so Mr. Van lets him go on for a few minutes. And then he's like, when the community board was doing their work to change the zoning, to beat back the developers that were building things that, didn't fit in with the community, and they were doing community walkthroughs on the blocks and asking people to report back to stuff. I didn't see you at any of those meetings. And he's like, "And you said like, you seem to be real passionate about education." The community was meeting every Saturday at Boys and Girls High School. It was teachers and parents and community leaders and even the kids themselves and others that they worked for months every Saturday to come up with an agenda of what our kids need here in Central Brooklyn. I didn't see you at any of those meetings either. And he just, says, he was like, "Man, I know you said you'd only see me during election time, but like we're working all the time, not just me. The community is. And so we need you to show up, not just election day, we need you to show up then." And so that's like, "Oh, I get it, it's work and busy and thing, whatever." So he's like, "When's election time again?" And, Mr. Van was just reminding him about that. It was like, "Tell him, I hope to see you. Make sure you show up on election day, but we need you at the meetings too." And he's like, "All right, man, all right, I got you." And it's just a reminder. I tell that story to remind you that we need you to show up not just on election day or during an election year. Those community organizations, that community board that's battling every day, that school board, that community based institution, that Democratic club, that political club, even if you're a Republican, whatever you are, they need you to show up, not just on election day, but throughout the year. So when a community organization is asking you to volunteer time or to go with them to the state capitol to advocate for a particular piece of legislation, or, they're asking you to be engaged, that's where they need you engaged, not just on election day, but every day throughout the year. And I know I'm busy, you got work and everything, just like, the gentleman said, but pick something, pick a thing, pick an organization and dive in. I know we're disappointed about the election results, but don't let that be the reason you walk away. Stay engaged. It's a lesson from Mr. Van, who taught me to tell people to stay engaged.